Hey guys, Titan Apprentice, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we are discussing the 10 types of preppers that you will see here online. Now I'm not saying anything's right or wrong about these types of preppers. All I'm giving you is an idea behind them. So let's kick it off with number 1, and that is the non-prepared or prepared at the last minute type of prepper. Now usually these types of people do not fall into the prepping category. But because their audience is so large that when they do put out some sort of prepping content, it gets a lot of attention. Most times these are family vlogging channels. They don't consider themselves preppers. But then a hurricane, an earthquake, an ice storm, a snowstorm, something happens that puts them in the line of danger. So they are last minute preppers. It's not bad that these people are getting prepared for that storm, for that earthquake, for that hurricane, whatever that hit their house. Usually they just prep a lot differently. And then people watch that and they go, oh, well, Jimmy and his family prepped this way, I need to do the same thing. And usually it's not the best way to do it. So they've got a storm coming to their house and they go to Sam's Club and they buy a case of green beans or a case of fruit cocktail. Why? Because FEMA said they needed 3 days worth of food, so they bought a case of green beans. I don't know about you, but I don't want to eat green beans every day for the next 3 to 5 days. And the problem with that is that they have garnered a large audience. So when people see that and they say, oh, I want to be more prepared, this is what Jimmy and his family did, or Tom and his family, or whatever the family channels are, they follow that. And then they end up with a case of green beans and no can opener. They end up with a case of green beans and no actual substance. Now the second type of prepper you see is the Walmart specialist. Now I'm not knocking people who shop at Walmart. Hell, I shop at Walmart. But normally what happens is somebody, usually younger, 17, 18, 19 years old, starts their prepping journey at Walmart. And they buy things that they just find on a Walmart shelf. They don't do any research really to them. They just pick things out, put them in a bag. Great, it works. The problem with that is that 4, 5, 6, 7 years later, they dump out their bags and it's the same shit that they bought 8 years ago, still in the box. Know your gear and make sure it works properly. That cheap little $1.50 Walmart knife you bought is not going to save your life. And you need to figure that out long before you actually need it. The problem is not that they shop at Walmart. The problem is that they buy from Walmart one time, they put it in a bag, and that bag goes in the closet. And they never touch it again until one day they're moving out of their house 8 years from now, and they go, oh crap. And all the stuff is ruined, it's runt, it's rusted, it's got holes in it, mice have chewed through it. Because it was cheap, they don't care about it. Because it was cheap, it got put in the closet or it got put out in a building. Cheap gear's not good. Good gear's not cheap. But if you buy the cheap gear, make sure you're watching after it, make sure you're taking care of it as though it were good gear. The third type of prepper you see here online is the common sense prepper. These types of preppers believe, hey, you should be prepared because bad things happen all the time. Hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, fires, floods, mudslides, cars breaking down, you losing your job. It happens all the time to millions of people. Be prepared for those things. Common sense. This is the people I enjoy watching. This is the people that hopefully I garner with my videos. I try to keep things common sense. Have some food on hand. Have some water on hand. Make sure you know how to use your bag and the stuff in it. Make sure you have water purification methods or filtration methods. You don't need to plan for World War III. Just plan for the power to go out for a weekend. It's a great place to start. Now to flip onto the other side of that coin is number 4s and number 5s. The conspiracy theory guy and the fear porn preppers. Now somehow prepping and conspiracy theories have kind of got this intertwined mix. It's a rough road because you start down one and then you go through the rabbit holes and somehow you end up watching 9/11 conspiracy theory videos. You watch how the world is ran by aliens or the lizard people. You're like, how the hell did I get here? I was looking up how to grow a garden. Unfortunately, it happens. And so the conspiracy types of people, they're preppers per se, but the ideas that they are prepping for are so outlandish, so crazy, so asinine, they give preppers a bad name. But unfortunately, because we're intertwined and we can't seem to get apart, they're there. They're like that cousin that no one talks about, right? At the family reunion. If you start down the rabbit holes, you end up in an entirely different side of the world. And you're still a prepper, but now you're not just prepping for hurricanes and earthquakes, now you're prepping for the lizard people to come claim their victories. It's a rough path. And a lot of people end up down it. Good luck to you all. Moving on to number 5 is the fear porn guy. Much like the conspiracy theory guy, his ideas are so outlandish and so asinine and so unbelievable, but yet they have garnered attention. They have garnered an audience. There are fear porn channels making 8, 9, 10, 12 videos a week, making multiple videos a day on simple things. Basically, they watch CNN and then they report the news in their own twisted format. They're still preppers. But they're also these fear porn, the sky's always falling, hell is coming to earth every time it rains, everything is against you type of people. Some people say they do it to sell rice and beans. Some people say they do it to sell products. I'm not going to fault you for making money. But there comes a point where you step back and you think, damn, this person's been wrong about 98% of the videos that he's put out. Why should I believe him now? Now, the 6th type of prepper you will run into here online is the all talk, no action desk jockey or desk sergeant. These people will sit behind a desk, will sit in a car, will sit somewhere and talk. And that's all they do. They just talk. They don't ever back up their actions. They don't ever show off that they know what they're talking about. It's just talk. Now, you might sit here and think, well, dude, you're sitting behind a desk, you're talking on camera. Why? Talking head videos are easy to put out. The thing about my channel is I've got things to back up. If I'm talking about a bug out bag, you know that I've hiked with that bug out bag because I have videos on it, because I have showcased me hiking up a mountain, me doing road marches, get home bag, bug out bags, overnight adventures with my bag. If I talk about my garden, I show off my garden. That's the difference between this talking head video and desk jockeys or desk sergeants. A lot of these people who sit behind a desk and talk or sit in their car and talk, that's all they do. It's a great way to entertain your audience. It's a great way to keep consistency on your channel. But then what? Right? If you ask someone to back it up, oh yeah, but dude, I hike with my bag every single day, 20 miles a day. Show it. Prove it. Show us. That's what we want to see. If you talk about, oh, you can carry 100 pounds on your back 50 miles in a day, we want to see it. Nah, man, I don't carry my camera on that. I can grow a garden that's amazing. A 50-acre garden in 1 acre of property. Great, that's awesome, dude. We want to see it. Nah, I don't want to show off my secrets. It's not my cup of tea. Some people love them. They have garden an audience for some reason. If that's you, and you enjoy watching them, hey, more power to you. I follow people who can back themselves up. The 7th type of prepper you will see here online is the show off for the camera guy. Now, these are individuals who will say that they do something one way, but you just have to put a little bit of common sense into it to figure out their line. Vehicle survival kits. If you have a 9-seater SUV and you tell the camera that you, your wife, your 5 kids, and your dog use this vehicle as their daily driver, but then you talk about how you have all of this stuff packed in this vehicle survival kit that takes up 8 out of the 9 seats, you're lying. You're showing off for the camera. That's what you're doing. Because there's no way those 2 statements are true. You can't take up 8 out of 9 of the seats and you and 7 other people use it as a daily driver. Those 2 just don't mix. I watched one guy. He had about a 60, 70 pound bug out bag. Big muscled guy, and he goes, I can walk 50 miles in a day with this thing. So he shuts the camera off, shuts it right back on. He goes, wow, I just walked 50 miles. In what, 2 seconds? 2 seconds with this pack, you walked 50 miles? You're not even sweating? You haven't even broken a sweat. But you mean to tell me that in that quick little cut scene, you went and walked 2 days worth and didn't get any film for it, I don't believe you. A lot of people, before they make a video, will go through whatever they're talking about, their gear, their vehicle kits, their first aid kits, whatever it is, and make sure that they don't look like idiots, or that they don't look stupid for missing out on something. I'm not that type of person. I'm real. I go through my bug out bag right now. Whatever's in there is in there. If I'm like, oh crap, I'm missing a water bottle and a shelter system and this and that and the other, I'm going to let you guys know. And why I'm missing it, where it is, what happened to it, why it's out of my bag. I'm not going to go through my bag before I make a video, packing it full of crap, and then going, look, I'm perfect. But that's what a lot of these people want to do. They want to be exactly perfect for the camera. They want to show that they've never made a mistake on video. Truth is, we all make mistakes. So how are you perfect when making a video? I want to see the mistakes. I want to understand, hey, this can happen to you, it can happen to anybody. Now the 8th type of prepper is fun to make fun of. They're fun to follow, but not take advice from. This is the war dogs. Guns and ammo. That will get you through all of life's problems. SHTF's coming, you need guns and ammo. Food? Nah, you don't need that. Water? Never heard of a first aid trauma kit? Nah, we don't need that. We need our guns, and we need our ammo and plate carriers, and that is what these channels are about. They don't have gardens, they don't have homesteads, they don't have food stocked up. They have their ammo stacked from the floor to the ceiling because they believe that that will be your only saving grace. They are preparing for war, but they are missing a few critical components. And obviously if you follow them, then you will think, all I need is guns and ammo, and then you'll starve to death. Then you'll dehydrate 2 days into the event. Guns and ammo are great. I have my fair share, but I also understand that for every gun I buy, I need to buy some spam to go with it. In a real world scenario, an SHTF scenario, like Great Depression, hyperinflation, that gun is going to become a paperweight very, very quickly. Sure, you can protect your house, and sure, you can go loot from others, but other people have guns too. Other people shoot back too. If your idea of SHTF is shooting your way into a place and shooting your way out of a place, you're not going to make it very far in that scenario anyway. The 9th type of prepper you will see here online is the prepper adjacent individuals. These people might not necessarily fall into the prepping category, but what they do kind of does. The homesteaders, the blacksmiths, the people who sew, the grannies who can, the hunters who go out and do primitive stuff, the bushcrafters, the survivalists. All of these are not necessarily preppers, but what they do is they have a set of skills that would be beneficial during an SHTF event. The grandmas who can aren't stocking up on guns and ammo, but them canning is a prepping skill. Them knowing how to can puts food on their shelves, puts food on their counter, puts food on their table when the world goes dark. The people who know how to sew, well, sewing was a huge barter and trade item back during the Great Depression. It's important now during hyperinflation events. The homesteaders, while not preppers, have everything that preppers want. They have their own land, they grow their own food, they have their own livestock, they have their own creeks, rivers, streams running in the backyard, they have an off-grid well that they know how to power via their solar system. A lot of people don't just fall into the prepping category and they stay here and every video is about prepping and stocking up food and water. A lot of people branch out. They go into the gardening, they go into canning, they go into couponing and food shopping, they go into stocking up and filling up your pantry. They go into their skills after stock up on food and water, they branch out. And a good prepper will have multiple branches, multiple skills that they can do. Prepping with Sarge. He's a prepper, but he also collects silver. But he also knows his wild edibles. And on his channel, you get all three. Palmetto Prepared. He's a prepper, but he'll also teach you how to can. He'll also teach you how to grow your own vegetables. He knows all three. A good prepper is going to have multiple streams, multiple skills. They're just not going to be stocking up on rice and beans and hoping that's enough. Now the 10th type of prepper you will see not as frequently here online. and that is the religious types of preppers. Now, there's a lot of preppers who use religion in their prepping channels, in their prepping goals. But what about organizations that use faith-based preparedness? The Amish, say what you want to about them, but they're basically preppers. They're living off the grid, they stock up on food, they do their own homesteading. They're basically preppers. The only difference is that they don't get online. They don't show videos, at least a lot of them. Now you're starting to get some of the young crowd getting into it, but most Amish live without power. They're ready for the end of times because they're currently living it. The LDS and the LDS Cannery. This is a religious organization that has preparedness as one of their key components in their religion. And they have branched it from not just the people in the church need to be prepared, but also people outside the church. And you can go to an LDS cannery and pick up some great prepping supplies for a budget price. We have an LDS cannery a couple hours away, and they are great as far as the preparedness goes. You can go down there and pick up green beans, corn, rice, whatever you need from them, get it at a more budget-friendly price than you can at Walmart, and then they're going to give you a reason to prep based on their religion. Hey, thanks for buying this. This is why we have this. Religion is not a bad reason to prep. Some people prep because of it. Some people prep against it. I'm not here to judge. As long as it don't go cult status, right? In the past, there have been many religious cults who have led prepping and then became, cults and everyone died by drinking the Kool-Aid. So as long as your religious-based preparedness doesn't lead you into drinking the Kool-Aid, you're good. So who am I missing? What did I forget? I might have to make a second list if you guys give me more examples. Let me know down below. Again, not saying that these people are bad, not saying that these people are good, not saying that everyone should go and be a common sense prepper instead of a fear porn prepper. Different folks, different strokes for different folks, right? You believe in what you want to believe, I believe in what I want to believe, and I prep my way, you prep your way. All of these people are promoting the idea of preparedness. I might not agree with how they're doing it, but there are different avenues of preparedness if maybe you aren't into the conspiracy guy. Maybe you're not into the fear porn. Well, go check out some common sense people. Go check out some of these prepper adjacent individuals. Maybe you are into it. Go find their channels. Alright guys, let me know who I forgot down below. That's all I got. Y'all stay safe out there.